Hello and welcome everyone to another Northgard build order video on this channel, and today I'm going to show you a macro build order for the Clan of the Bear that I definitely had quite a bit of fun with in free-for-all games, and you may also be able to do this in team games if they are going very slow, but keep in mind that it's not really going to be able to defend against the rush. So if you're seeing yourself confronting something like this, I wouldn't really recommend going for this build right here, and rather for a trade heavy build where you try to clear out a lot for your teammates. But found a lot of fun in this build right here. It doesn't really require you to trade with teammates. Yeah, just wanted to have fun. Good luck to the bots right here, but I can't even chat. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Mostly going to go into the erudition right here and gonna make use of the carpentry mastery, and not really gonna go into the upper tree with the hibernation build, what you oftentimes gonna see in team games, since you can then get aggressive pretty early into the game and make use of the hibernation. But that's not what we're gonna see here today. We're rather gonna try to get a lot of shield bearer camps up, trying to upgrade them also, since we're not gonna pay taxes on shield bearer camps because of shield mastery. Also gonna try to get the relic, of course, and a few good tiles for our gold production right here, so we don't need to worry about that too. Do I actually want to go for this tile? Like, I definitely want to go for the food source with the highest outcome, like I generally do, like mostly preferring the farms. Second thing would be the Hunter's Lodge, and if nothing else would be there, I would be going for the fish. Even though, like, over the whole year, it doesn't make a big difference. It is mostly just important, so yeah, you actually can amass a good amount of food when you actually need it, and it's oftentimes in summer, so you're not gonna oftentimes go for a big amount of food in the winter time. So you can see right here, we're basically just looking for the first tile here. Best thing would always be if it's a tile that you don't gonna use for a lot of things, because you want to build a woodcutter's lodge and a war camp on it. In the best case, you would also build a house on it. That's why I'm gonna go for one of the sheep right here, and take this tile here too, so I can build the house on it. Because right here there's gonna be the wood camp. I'm gonna build a shield bearer camp on there, and whoop, let's get one there. Of course, also want to build the iron mine right there. Therefore, not really any space on this tile anymore. So I'm gonna go with the house right here. Just gonna be house for a little moment here because I didn't went for this early enough. So of course, go for it a little bit earlier if you have the chance for it. In general, we have a pretty good spawn here though, even though we have no farm, only hunt, so it's not the best case scenario in my opinion. But like I said, in general, the whole year food amount that we're gonna get out of the different food sources is not differing that much. Just like fish is gonna be really good in winter, hunt is gonna be kind of good in winter, and farms are just gonna be trash in winter. So I usually prefer to have my food sources being good in the summertime. So, going for the second wood camp here. Afterwards, we can basically already go for the first war camp. Thing is, why I definitely want to build the war camp here and not the house is because I want to have a war camp, or rather shield bearer camp, on every tile, like one on every tile, so I can get the maximum happiness out of protector of the land. One war camp is of course needed, so you are actually able to build the shield bearer camps, and also to spawn your bear and shield maiden, because you will only be able to do that in a war camp and not in a shield bearer camp. Keeping the clear in mind here, we have 5 wolves around us. The Northgard are pretty close, but it's not always the nicest thing. But we're gonna play around that. That's not gonna be too bad. I'm a little bit worried about the second stone right here, because I definitely need it for this kind of build, and if we not get it right here... there is it, actually. Perfect. That's actually pretty cool. So we're gonna spawn the bear here to clear out all the wolves. And I guess we'll actually need one warrior on top of this, because the bear is not going to be enough to make all of this happen. No, that's unlucky. Very unlucky. We have July though, so it's a pretty normal time to get attacked by a wolf, I guess. Let's see if we can... No. Would have been nice if he could have let the villager die to that wolf right there, but reacted a little bit too late. Because I don't want to have this villager all the time around, but therefore we're gonna watch out to not hurt the warrior here. And rather go right for it. Since we are going for a rather quick 200 fame right here, I don't think that sacrificing the bear is actually worth in this build anymore. That was something that I oftentimes did in former builds, and generally with the bear clan, because we just rebuy the bear for a pretty small amount of resources. Those got risen a little bit, what makes it less worth, and also yeah, hitting the 200 earlier will usually help to make the bear worth earlier. So yeah, let's just try to do that. Let's get one villager over here and also go for the hunt tile. Definitely also want the forest over here. Let's see how we're gonna do that. Definitely get a second villager over here, but no, we're gonna focus on the forest right here because we're gonna get a little bit more wood out of that, and obviously also want to take advantage of that. Already quite a few irons around here, like usually wouldn't have that much. You can see right here there's a farm. I could just go for that right now, have a higher food production, and that's what I usually would prefer. But let's be honest, in a normal team game or even free-for-all game, you wouldn't want to have your main food tile that much forward into the front. That's why I'm also gonna bite my teeth right here and just try to not go for it. Even though it would be my favorite food source, but it's just not in a good position. Like, look at the deer right here. We have a way better position defending this, and therefore feel a lot safer going for this tile for my main food source. Even this tile wouldn't be too bad. It is at least close to my main tile right here. But the hunt especially is in a very good position right here, because every attacker would need to decolonize this tile or this tile before they can even enter my hunt tile, and then they would also be able to just run into my main tile right then. So maybe they are not that interested in doing that anyway. So at first we're gonna go for mining efficiency here. For the lore tree, I can already say we're gonna go mining efficiency into coinage, into erudition. We can also just pause the game because I got already housed because of that second time. It's a little bit of a yikes, but honestly not the worst thing to happen. Like in perfect go, and if you're not talking all the time, you should usually be able to not get housed. I should have also maybe built the wood camp a little bit later and go for the house before that. But I usually like to have both of my wood camps up at a pretty early time, because food is not going to be as much of a problem, especially as bear in later stages of the game. So I like to have the ability to get 4 woodcutters pretty soon, so I can go for all the juicy stuff I want to build with wood as soon as I can, and also gonna happen pretty soon. So getting back to the lore tree here, I would go from mining efficiency into coinage, from coinage into erudition, because this will boost our lore income by quite a bit. Also try to build this lore stone on my main tile, where usually I left the space for the altar that were coming there at some point. The altar definitely not as strong anymore for the bear clan and a lot of different clans, but erudition will help out quite a bit with the lore economy here, and maybe even helps you in the late game to go for hibernation and recruitment, because it's definitely lores that you would want to have. I can also see that we have a circle here on the other side that might also help us out to get a really good lore economy. Like, this is definitely something you keep in mind with the bear clan. You can't have too much lore, really. There's so many lores that you really want to go for. I'm personally not a big fan of harpoons right here, not only because of my because I don't like fishermen that much, but in general as a lore, it's a really weird path to take, and I feel like you're gonna have a lot of problems to actually get your gold together. Even if you play a more aggressive team game bear, you will rather than go for coinage, start your trade, and then you go for the upper tree or for the lower tree or for the middle tree. You're gonna have some lore going, some gold going for you, and yeah, with harpoons, I usually have my problems with that, even though there might be a way to go around that. But as soon as we have the erudition, we go for carpentry mastery. Yeah, that should definitely be nice for the few buildings upgrades also in the start. I just thought about could already go this path, but I would really recommend going erudition straight into carpentry mastery. Then you can already build, upgrade all your eco buildings for the lower price, what is really interesting. And then slowly go from weaponsmith into protector of the land into shield mastery, because you see the end of the text there, you have no upkeep cost for shield bearer camps. What can legitimize you to build a lot more or upgrade a lot more of them without having the ongoing cost of higher taxes for those, what oftentimes stop me from upgrading war camps with other clans. But here it's actually a pretty nice thing, so let's jump right back in and get the 2 woodcutters, get the 4 woodcutters actually, and build the house as fast as humanly possible. I'm gonna build it here on the woodcutter tile. Get it up. Right now. Okay. Sailors are pretty much still required right here, because they're still a very good source of early gold. Still a little bit better than merchants in the early game. No, there is a lot of lore around me. I will not be going for the ruin right here, because I already took advantage of the sheep, and I don't really want, like in a build order video, take advantage of too many things that I got gifted with from the map, and rather keep it realistic and see that you can actually redo this build on most of the maps, even though that you're sometimes maybe even gonna perform a lot better than me here, because you got a lot of more early treasures or sheeps or just a really good spawn in general. The next thing for me would actually be the hunters here. I usually like also keep them working over the winter. In general, all your food economy is going to be a little bit better than for other clans in winter, because the winter penalty is not hurting you as much as with other clans. That's why I also like to build the farm sometimes before the winter, even though farmers for other clans are really not good in winter and will be as good, like unupgraded farmers will be as good as villagers that are running around right here and just grabbing food. They will be just as good. But since you have reduced reduced punishment for gathering food in winter, you will the farm will still be pretty worth for you, and fish not as much. That's also why I don't like it as much, and bear especially. Next thing gonna be the dock, I think. Yes, yeah, if I would go for the ruin here, I would actually go for the stone mine right now, and rather take the gold out of the ruin first. But we can also keep in mind that we have mining efficiency right here, what will help us certainly quite a bit by mining stone quicker than you could have done before. Like, I don't play that many builds where you actually get the mining efficiency, so it's always pretty satisfying to actually have it and see how quickly the stone can actually come in if you go for it, right? We already have the 4, we have the lore master right there, what is pretty important, and we get the mid stolen away from the AI. You can go for the mid, you can definitely go for the mid. It can make sense if you want to have the early 200. We're gonna reach it kinda early here anyway, so I rather want to keep it down to the build. But if you wanna go for it, you're not the most worthless clan to go for it. There are a few clans that will be having a few more benefits than you on the Guerrier clan from getting the middle, for example the Stag clan. Yeah, I guess basically the prime example also for that. Like, you should really look for that your Stag team member gets the mid rather than you do. But in general, it is not too bad to hit the 200 here a little bit earlier. So if you get the chance, maybe just go for it, even though that's in a rather free-for-all-ish build or slower build. Like in a free-for-all, you're not gonna hunt for it that often, honestly. But maybe you see it sometimes, and then you just go for it, right? Getting now the miners here. Going for good stone economy. We may be banking up a little bit of resources before we upgrade buildings, because I definitely want to have carpentry mastery. before I upgrade buildings, but I want to get erudition first, because as soon as we get erudition, our whole lore economy is gonna be a whole lot faster. So definitely makes sense to go for it as soon as you can. And we can also already think about, this is a 2-tile. Ooh, this is so hurtful and punishing. Like 2-tile areas are usually definitely super punishing. Just right now it's really throwing me away here, throwing me apart here. So I'm actually gonna build the woodcutter's lodge on a different tile. Throwing me a little bit back into the build, but this is unfortunate, man. You wouldn't, like, this is never good if you have 2-tile areas right next to your main zone, like we can see right here. There's yet another 2-tile zone. This is not great, but we're gonna try to play around it. Just right now it's definitely gonna end up in us breaking down one of the camps right there. So we can actually go for the iron. And you would cut us over here, break it down, and go for the iron mine. Unfortunate, but we can play around it, like I said. Now, yeah, get the erudition. Also build the stone over here. We will need to break the scout camp down at some point anyway, so we might just gonna go for it right now. Because I don't want to break down the sailors. I'm not sure if I'm gonna upgrade them. Usually I don't. Just want to keep more stone for upgrading more buildings. But as a little bit of an additional gold production, they're definitely not too bad. Especially for the start of the game. And we want to build like a market, a trading post, and still a war camp on this tile. So gotta keep a little bit of space there, and since we're gonna break it down at some point anyway, might just break it down right now so we don't have to pay the tax money for that building anymore. So, as soon as the stone is up, gonna go for it. Just dropping in food here, but it's definitely not too bad. We wait for the upgrades here. We still have a sheep standing around, what can help us out right there. Will definitely be quite good. Therefore we need to have the sailors here running all the time, of course, so get the max out of that. And we should also think about now adding merchants on top of that. At least we can build that building already. We will be using those pretty soon anyway, because I want to upgrade a lot of buildings that will cost gold. And on top of that, I also want to get my shield maiden out as soon as I hit my 200 fame. I get my 50% bonus there. Yet another little trick that I could show you right here is that your villagers, after they start starving, are not going to get sick right away. It's going to take a little bit of a while. That's why you're oftentimes going to see me going into the -50, getting more and more sick villagers, waiting a little bit of a while. Like, it will take exactly 2 weeks until they start starving. That is usually 1/2 of one box right here. Like, one box represents 1 minute. So basically you can let them starve 30 seconds, and even though they still have the starving symbol over their head, they're not gonna get sick because we have enough food in the stock right here. And the starving is basically just going to disappear as soon as I go into the plus with my production. So, yeah, we have carpentry mastery. Go for the town hall upgrade. Then I definitely go right here for the food upgrade, because my food is not looking that great and I would like to have it a lot better right here. The next thing would be the woodcutters upgrade. So we can pull back a few woodcutters from here. And especially in long games, upgraded woodcutters can really pay for themselves. So definitely something you should consider, even though that oftentimes you want to have as much stone as possible to upgrade camps. And if you even gonna end up sometimes on just a single stone build, like, definitely want to keep that as low as possible, and maybe even cut out the second woodcutter's lodge just so you have a little bit more to do there. But honestly, if you have just one stone, maybe even consider going for another build here, because this build is definitely very much reliant on having a lot of stone to upgrade camps and get a strong eco in general. Like you also want the Relic definitely in longer games, because the Bergklein Relic is really strong, so second iron is also really helpful. We're gonna go for Yord's Blessing here though, so we're gonna get some bonus stone and iron on top of that, because we're gonna get a lot of happiness out of Protector of the Land. We can go for the Baltar's Blessing a little bit later, but as first one I would definitely go for the Yords for this build here. Go, we're done with the stone. As soon as we can get the Maiden out, we'll also clear out those drawers right here. It's not gonna be all too long anymore for now. We can already slowly start to build more camps. Well, I don't want to do it just now. Like, we're gonna bank up a little bit wood for that, but I don't want to right away start with... can I trade something? No, I can't. That would have been nice too, just to get a little bit of bonus gold. If I would have scouted out the kobolds right here, I think I would have just started to trade with them right now a little bit, just so I get a little bit more gold. And in general, also something you can definitely consider, like trading with neutrals, even though I would not go full Jotnar trade. In general, a good thing, and something you want to have, because to get coinage as second lore, you might as well also trade rather early. Borgild out. Almost stayed live there. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't hear it. Now we also want to have the tile rather earlier than later. Maybe even get one woodcutter back here. Oop, because we need 160 food as soon as possible. We're basically a little bit of a wood bottleneck, and I just realized how insane that spawn that I have right here actually is, man. We have two circles on a normal stone. So lore-wise, we could go completely insane here, I don't think. I'm actually gonna, again, because I don't think it's that realistic. And we're gonna split our eco up how we definitely want it, since we hit the 200 fame right here. The Bear and Maiden will each upgrade a tile by 15% if you let them stay in it. So if I get the Bear out of here, you will see my food. Boop, 15, boop, 17. Also works with the Maiden here on the Hunter tile. It's basically because of the Hunters here. Pretty important, but you gotta keep in mind that you can't stack it, so usually try to keep them split and not on the same tile, because it's definitely not gonna help you out. And we're going straight towards rats too, so let's fastly build the silo right there, so we don't lose food to the rats. I think we should be just in time for that. And then we get the mining camp for even more stone. Could also consider to get more Lord Masters right now. I think going for a few camps, so we get a lot of happiness when Protector of the Land hits. Is also pretty nice. Low villager over here. Not too interested in towers here, by the way, since we have the Shield Maiden and the Bear permanently around. So as soon as we're gonna get attacked by some neutrals on the outer tiles, we're just gonna pull them over, and therefore not need to build towers, but cost resources in itself, of course. That is unfortunate. But hey. Oh, that is actually pretty cool. So, one unfortunate happening always means a good happening. She won't die here. It's just like we're gonna build a healer's hut pretty soon now, because we're not gonna go for hibernation. Protector of the Land now gets a lot of happiness. Yord's Blessing. Not upgrading the silo here though. First upgrade is gonna be the trading post. And we get more woodcutters right now. Since we blew a lot of wood now. Because of the shield bearer camps, I think one of the next things will actually be the healer's hut. Because I didn't build a tower like I just explained, and if I would get attacked now I would have a low bear and a low Borgild. What is not as helpful, to be honest. get a healer's hut right here. Next house will also be needed pretty soon. So let's also do that. This will for that. Come over here. And now the next focus is basically to get the second, like the market up, not the second trading post. Can't do that, but we're gonna build the market on here in the tile. Also upgrade it and basically try to get the different tool upgrades. I think we can be a little bit slower on gold, but therefore take a little bit more wood right here to build more buildings here. I guess this villager is also gonna go for a going to be a woodcutter after she's done building right here. And we're slowly healing. Borgold is also pretty nice. The bear is not annoying us, what is pretty cool. Like, a bear will never think about attacking you. We might get attacked by the Murkalfar here in the next time. Therefore, I definitely want to have a full life Borgold or bear. In the best case, they're both not as low that they could actually die by the elf, because they're actually pretty key. Didn't have that much of a food stockpile right here, but it's generally not the best thing, but gonna be fine here. There is the wolf attack happening right away. Let's pull them out. We have healers. And Borgil can do that alone. They're over there. And we need to stop those. I really need more food. Go over there. Yeah. Ready, get us to +1. We just went back, I don't know. Gonna get him back on the healer. And also navigate to the miner right here. It's not really low. We have 4 wounded villagers, what will give you -1 happiness right here. You can see that you have too many wounded. And as soon as I'm just gonna have 3 villagers, I can show you that again. You will see that disappeared. You only get unhappiness right there if you have more than 3 villagers or military units hurt around that time. Would even make sense for me to clear them out, clear the bear out in winter, but no, don't think that I'm healed enough for that right now. And also, I'll keep my food how it is right now, even though I could starve a little bit. Let's get the market up. And definitely like to build that right now. Am I gonna build it here now? Definitely. Doesn't help too much if I want to go for the relic. I'm just gonna build it right here. Later on, I can even think about building another marketplace on there to help out a little bit more. Shield mastery, I'm now gonna pay no taxes anymore on my shield camps, what is definitely pretty cool. Is it time to stop the sailors? I think I'm gonna stop the sailors. Over there. And a little bit more food would be good so I don't start starving now. Would definitely be cool. Well, in general, I definitely also want more wood, so I definitely can think about also whoop. Feasting this year, because we didn't feast until now. There were situations where you felt it were worth before, you could have also done so. For me, it definitely weren't really the case, so didn't really think about that, nor think in the aftermath that I really would have needed them. I'm doing pretty fine right here, and in general, but with slower builds, you wanna feast a little bit lower than you would do in aggressive builds, because there's usually the thought that you don't want to waste the feasts by not doing them. But you're not gonna waste really something here. You're most likely gonna have enough time to feast, so you just shouldn't forget it. That's the most important thing. Why do I have -9 right now? I have no clue. Get those guys back. There's also still there. And we're not starving anymore. Definitely need more gold though. Get one woodcutter over there. for the hunters. And we need to go for the next tile, even though it's gonna pull down my food for a little moment here and maybe even let me starve again. Oh no. Well, as soon as the shield maiden is not on that tile anymore, I'm actually gonna go into the minus, but I'm not gonna have too much problems here. I think the bear is gonna be cleared out before I actually start starving. But I really want a tile over there, so let's go for it. Let's get a little bit more food in general too. The hunters will also be upgraded, and the upgrade after that will be the shield bearers before I go for the relic here. Because the relic will take a little bit of time. But the shield bearers are definitely a little bit more, it's again realistic, right? If you see that no one is gonna attack you, there's no chance that somebody is gonna try to attack you. You might even go for the relic first, because why not? But in general I would definitely go for the shield bearers first, because the relic might even also trigger your opponents to attack you at that very point. Yeah, I'll break that down now. I'll go for the shield bearer camp. Pretty cool. Since we also have like the option right here, like we have so much lore around us that I definitely don't feel like I'm gonna miss the lore at some point from the sailors when I really need them. Sometimes if you just have one lore stone, like with our edition, it's not that much of a problem anymore, honestly. But if you would want a little bit more lore, you could also keep the sailors up, maybe develop the tile and then build the shield bearer camp on it. Just gonna try to go around developments all too much in the normal build right here, because it's not needed. You can still keep your door open there. Like for example, we have it right here, also develop. But that will definitely end up being pretty nice. Since yeah, villager could come back right here. Whoop. Because we can build another market right here if you would really want it. Therefore, like trade, like the trading post I would always build before, because if you want to build a marketplace or a trading post, there's always the thought process for what do you need it. If you want to buy resources at some point, maybe, I don't know which build that actually would include that, you would want to build a marketplace first, but generally you want to build a trading post first, because oftentimes you would want to have a little bit more gold produced than you can actually like this, and the trading post gives you the ability to open up a trading route if there is something to trade with, and a market doesn't. So that's why usually you're gonna build a trading post first before you build a marketplace, and a marketplace rather as an addition on top of that. Now we're gonna go for sharp access and can slowly go for here. I would definitely go for recruitment first, because your build, like hibernation, is super strong, and if you have a situation where you think, oh my god, like hibernation could really excel right now, do it. But like that, you wouldn't really do that right now. Let's do one feast here. It will also give us a lot more food. Don't worry too much about the wood, that's gonna be gone pretty soon. And we're gonna go away with the smiths right here. Just getting them back into villagers and right back onto the tile, because they're going to be boosted by Bogled. And we really need this tile right here, or this. I'm going to go for this here though, since we will get a little bit of iron there. And in general this would be a little bit more interesting, because it can't be attacked by your opponent. Plus there's lore on it. Like the lore is definitely more interesting than the farm right here, even though I told you how much I like farms before. But yeah, it's not the thing that you really want to go for at this point. If you wouldn't be that interested in like going for the next tile right here, you would also try like around the mid of 82. You should permanently have merchants in there, because the build is a little bit slower, but that is still not a reason to not have a good amount of gold around 803, because oftentimes you're gonna be attacked around that time, and you would really want to be ready then. Let's get the iron mine up. Let's quickly clear out this wolf right here. Earthquake is gonna come in. Basically want to wait until the earthquake came in. So, no, what I repair for the healer there. It's not actually that much, that's great. Thought I would be blowing a little bit more wood there, but like this, I can definitely deal with it. I like it. Let's get those up. And get 2 people on iron so I can start with the relic as soon as possible. Would have loved to do that a little bit earlier right now, but I felt getting all the camps up and basically getting ready to upgrade all of them is also pretty important. So yeah, my thought process right there, and also gonna get another camp down here if I would have the possibility to do it. I don't have. So then yeah. Switch it up. Come on, no, you're gonna build a war camp here. Because I really want the happiness out of that, and I really don't want to develop any more tiles. And you're gonna build the house right there. No, don't have to. There's somebody even closer. Not gonna get house there. Actually crazy. Next floor should actually give us Baldur's Blessing though. Also a little bit more happiness, so we can get more villagers. Can definitely end up quite a bit higher here. Oftentimes like to just lock it at 26, so basically upgrade 1 more house, but upgrading houses in a build where you want to upgrade as many shield bearer camps as possible, I don't think that would be the best thing to do, to be honest. Let's get her over there. We have the 6 merchants running for all that time. It's not super crazy, but it's okay. And the last thing that we really need to think about is a scout camp. We're just gonna break down the wood camp right here. It's not gonna be all too valuable anymore. I think we have enough wood. Even though, like, it can quickly change. Like, it can just upgrade all these shield bearer camps that we're basically are ready for. Just doesn't change as much if we would upgrade them right now, a few minutes later. Because we don't need to pay taxes for them anyway. And I guess it's nice to look at, huh? Upgrade that. It will give us 1 more to upgrade. I would go for this here because it's so much in the corner. I can already see how we have a quite acceptable amount of warband already. So I'm gonna go for Scabbard of Gram. It's the Bear Clan relic. Definitely a strong relic that you would want to have in free-for-all games and whatever games you are playing, basically. We also have a few more feasts here to boost those, to boost the forging of the relic, basically, if you want to have it a little bit earlier. In general, I think, like, eco-wise, you would have definitely had the possibility to go for it a little bit earlier. I just personally, I didn't really get the food together in time to go for the iron early enough. Like, maybe you would have your iron on one of the tiles that you went here already for. And it can always differ in those spawns, and you may be able to go for the relic a little bit earlier. If you can, I would definitely recommend so. It's not something that I did on purpose, that I went a little bit later for it. Like, in general, you would want to get it as early as you can. So as soon as you have the iron for it, go for it. But you would definitely go for the shield bearers first. We got the bear over here. Nah, just gonna do it like that. You're already gonna starve like this. It's not gonna be too bad though. Burger. Like, we have 1 more upgrade here. Maybe we actually go for a house upgrade. Like, right now I could build a house right here, of course. So times can change. Minus 17. Let's pull back those guys. I think 5 is more than enough already. Yeah. Oh yeah, now we can go full again. Bang bang. Oh. Definitely navigate my scouts a little bit more. I would want to scout out my opponent like as straightforward as possible. Like in a free-for-all game, I can again imagine like that might not be the... Oh, Baldur's Blessing, completely forgot about that. That would have been a little bit more happiness throughout the winter here, of course. And man, we're getting quite lucky on the Merkalfar attacks here. Like I can see them going out to our Yarrick right here, the Raven opponent we're playing against. But we didn't really have too much problems with it yet, so happy we. Let's get the woodcutters back. Not that much wood needed anymore. Like, you can go for more for the market here, of course, or in general. Also, yeah. There's reasons to have more, but maybe you even want more war band. Can definitely be possible. Over 20 with this build is definitely possible. Also something to keep in mind. Like you can go to very high army amounts right here that you're usually able to sustain for quite a while. Like the Bear Clan is not as crazy as the Goat Clan, for example, while by keeping army up, or for example the Stag Clan at some points. But it's definitely good enough, and yeah. Definitely strong enough to make things like that happen, and to get out definitely pushes even a little bit earlier times of games. But I really like the late game push right here in combination with the Scabbard of Graham. That is really a really strong relic. Let's actually get one lore master off there. Not the favorite thing I want to do. Just gonna get one scout also home. Oh, Borgel is also not on the right here. That might seem like such a small thing, but that is really what you gotta watch out for, because bang, +2. Just for a few centimeters, you know? Like, keep that in mind, keep those on the right tiles, and try to keep as many villagers also. Like, they're not only gonna boost merchants or like people in specialized jobs like we will oftentimes have with other clans. They will gonna basically go for all of the clans. So, go right here. And build that up. So we got enough food together to get the second feast here, and especially important is to upgrade, like boost the relic here a little bit so we can get it a little quicker. And I might actually end up to build a bonus war camp right here. Can we trade with anyone? We can trade with Yarrick. To be honest, let's just trade with Yarrick here. It's gonna have enough bad experiences with us anyway. And we most likely also gonna be able to get recruitment right here. It's not a super early 802 push, but this build can definitely scale up to quite a bit. Like, you're not gonna oftentimes be able to build the two markets, like a marketplace and trading post combo on your food tile. But maybe even an upgraded market. Maybe you buy one stone or like one stash of stone right here to get another one, another market down right there. I think right now we're gonna be fine like this. Just gonna get another war camp up and maybe get one more feast right here. Let's just, come on, just one more feast. Why not? Then we should actually already be able to attack. Let's get the scouts back. That would be a little bit of bonus food too. Ready for the very last feast. Will also get us to 500 fame. I think you can reach most of the stuff also a little bit earlier to attack actually, like just right after the winter. If you plan on attacking in the winter, it's hard to say if you're gonna have everything ready. I wouldn't stress myself out all too much in a free-for-all especially. Maybe just annoy, like with a small army with a maiden and maybe a few shield bearers already a little bit. But usually, like, if you want to annoy your opponent's hibernation as a lure that you really would want to have there. So I guess with this build you would really rather want to sit back and wait until you got all the juicy stuff there. Let's break that down. And gonna develop now the main areas to get the relic down there. Again, it's mostly because you don't really want to... yeah, I'm gonna build it here for showing preferences, and like in a real game it could actually happen that this attack doesn't work out and I want to have a little bit of bonus gold production right here, but we basically know that my attack is gonna work out, you know. Like I have a strong feeling that we're gonna have a good time there. Let's get them over here. We can already see Borghild here with the big 6 sword. Really nice. Show it to us. Oh yes, that's it. Show us what fancy stuff we got for you. We're basically just gonna defend against those ghosts right here. And then we're already gonna get ready to attack. See, even the ghost gets taken by the zone right here. It will basically get the movement speed of people hit by it lower. It's basically also AoE, so if you got a clumped up fight, it's gonna work even better. And you're gonna slow down the attack speed of the people you are fighting against, what is super interesting, of course. Since we already hit the 500 food here too, we're also gonna be able to take Kaja with into the fight. That's always nice if you can take a war bear into the fight, of course. Gonna get a lot of unhappiness right here. I guess that's mostly because I can upgrade a house, then it's gone. Aha. So, what's the problem, guys? It's not too much of a problem. It's not gonna make your warriors weaker, but it's definitely nothing what you really like want to have. Like it's gonna happen. It's not your favorite thing to happen. Guess we're overdoing it here a little bit, but we have enough food to overdo it. To be honest, let's all go and let just the bear sort that out. We can already go for a little army right here. What is 18 shield bearers? I guess, like I said, we can overdo it a little bit here, since we have a lot of food. Really, usually you want to watch out to not start starving here. But I guess we have enough to make it happen here. Now you can think about, like, it's also the same thing. Like, if you, like, the same thing with a lot of the other clans. If you plan to be pretty aggressive, Bloodbath shield bearers will be a lot more worth than the tactician tree right here, because Warcry with shield bearers, bodyguard, but reinforced armor really does it for shield bearers here, because if you're oftentimes defending, shield bearers are gonna hold up a lot of hits, and 10% on a lot of hits is a lot of dodges in the end, and so therefore very, very helpful. The Conqueror tree with war effort can sometimes help you to go for a lore that you really want to. But Bloodbath shield bearers are really what you are looking for right there. Veteran fighters doesn't even make that much of a difference for shield bearers, because they're oftentimes not gonna fight against X-throwers then anyway, because why would somebody do that if you are playing with the clan that is one of the strongest clans against X-throwers? So it really won't happen that often. So it's really between reinforced armor and Bloodbath right here. Since we're attacking, we go for Bloodbath. And yeah, towers not gonna be as much of a problem here. And with the next lore, that is actually not a normal lore here. That is the lore out of the Conqueror tree. We're gonna go for military strategy here, because we have 3 different types of units, also giving our shield bearers a little bit more attack. And that's really, like, shield bearers don't have a lot of attack, so every little bonus there can be really worth. We already have quite a bit of bonus here through all the upgraded shield bearer camps. That's also why I like them that much in the end. Yeah, with that push, we most likely gonna be able to go for the opponent here. I just realized that I didn't even scout it the right tile. Oh my god. It's gonna be problematic, but we're not gonna be able to do it. Now I wish I would have gotten a few people less. But since we're gonna take a little bit of time until we actually push in all those tiles, it's gonna be fine anyway. Shouldn't be too much of a problem here. Let's get the scouts in the front, be happy that I didn't break down the scout camp, but maybe you should also watch onto the mini map and see that you can actually see the main house of your opponent right there. But yeah, I guess you get the general idea of the build right here. Just want to summarize a little bit. If you get the chance, like, you could have also waited a little bit. I guess it's also the smartest thing to actually do, then go for the recruitment tree right here. For hibernation, only in really special situations where you know it's gonna excel 100% at that time. Otherwise, I would go for recruitment before, because losing your army is a lot more likely than hitting like the hibernation heal that will be really clutch and win you the game, basically. That may happen, but it's not as likely to happen as that recruitment is gonna be really helpful for you. And I'm actually gonna get a very sick here-handed attack, but thankfully the video is also over soon, and I still think it's gonna be definitely enough against an AI right here, because the big fight is going to happen before all my army is going to start starving here. Oh, I can also show you recruitment is definitely what I would go for. And that is also what would let you win against Stag Clan or other clans. Like Stag Clan especially has a hard time against the Bear Clan because of the recruitment. What Stag Clan just don't have. So if you are just grinding your army against each other and throwing them in again and again, it's really worth to have the recruitment, but therefore you actually also need to go for it. And since we're not going for the upper tree here that early, I feel like erudition is very much needed to actually make that happen, that you can hit recruitment at a time where it's worth. And yeah, sometimes you can even work with the circles right there, but in general, like erudition really opened the way to that. Keep in mind to also go for the Relic, because the Relic is really something strong right here. It's hard to show in a fight right here against an AI how strong the Relic actually can play out in a fight, but especially with that many shield barrels, it can be really good. Like, I don't know why they are so unhappy. But yeah, I hope you got the general idea here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe tune in for another video here, yeah, if you like it on this channel. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe see you back in one of the next ones, and I guess bye bye everyone. See ya. Bye bye.